Well, hello to you. It's the 17th of April. It's week 18, I think. I'm really starting to struggle to remember these weeks. I'm here at Shumba's. It's a really rainy, stormy day here in Africa, up just north of Pretoria at Shumba's Rest, which is where the Wealth Creators campus is. I wanted to bring you this week. It's been a very interesting week. At the end of the day, 2011 has been a hell of a difficult year. I planned it. I had all my intentions of what I wanted to achieve, and I haven't been getting the results that I wanted, and it's really been frustrating because I've been putting in the hard work, but I've just not been getting those results that I wanted, and certainly haven't been reaching that mastery level as fast as I would like to. But I wanted to use this analogy of this dam. I've been to this farm many times now, and this dam has always been quite low, and over the last 2 days we've had a lot of rain, and literally in the last 2 days I've watched how this dam has risen, and you can actually see behind me here, that island used to be a big island. I've actually done videos from that island, and it's almost completely disappeared. I'm almost willing to bet you if I come back tomorrow morning, that dam will have risen so much that island would have disappeared. And for me, it's the analogy of what it is to put in the time and the effort, the formula of riches, put in the hard work, because it will pay off. That dam will rise, and eventually you will get to see the results. And funny enough, this week I actually had one of those weeks, because the real hard work all year has really started to pay off, and I'm starting to see those results, which is fantastic. The second thing was, on Monday I decided, I've had a chaotic period for a while, so on Monday what I did is I actually spent a day of planning. I sat down, I worked out what I wanted to achieve over my next 49 days. I then looked at all my to-do lists and started to categorize them, started to prioritize them, and started to work out what I was going to focus on. It just gave me a lot of peace of mind and clarity, because I now had everything planned, documented, and I knew exactly what I was going to do with regards to going out there and taking action, basically. The third thing was referrals, and it really was very enlightening. You know, last week we did the sales and marketing course, and I got the referrals on Monday morning, and I looked through them, and really, wow, we had 40 people on the course. Our average was 10 out of 10. The referrals were absolutely amazing. People were so kind in terms of what they said, in terms of the amount of value we offered, and really it is one of the greatest experiences to be able to offer someone, teach them, try and give them as much as you know, give them as much passion you got, but those referrals are just amazing when people give it back and tell you how much they enjoy the course, how much it's going to mean to them, how they can double their sales. And for me, it's incredibly empowering. I know that what Hannes and I shared with them means such a lot, but when you hear it back from them, it just gives you that real distinct, you know, it's the very first time you've done it, and that real distinct feeling that you really do know what you're doing, and you will be able to add a huge amount of value. And it's just nice to get that feedback. You know, we're all humans, and a pat on the back is always welcomed at some stage. Then with regards to what actually happened with the Tony Robbins courses, based on that sales and marketing, I set a deadline for Friday for when I was going to put in the final orders. Now, I've been dealing with some people for 3 months. It's incredible in business when you set a deadline, you create urgency, what actually happens. And by Friday, when I came up to Shumba's here, we actually had 10 confirmed deals signed, paid for, and the money in the bank. And so I've put that order through, and those will be, and really, again, people are really positive, and a lot of that was on the back of the sales and marketing course as well. 4 clients from the sales and marketing course. So it's amazing when you teach people and show them value, then they can understand the real value of what it is they're looking. And I'm so excited about that, because it was a big concern of mine. It was a huge capital outlay to be able to buy the stock and everything else. And just with the way that I've structured the deal, it's all the mindsets that I've learned from Tony Robbins, from Chet Holmes, from the Wealth Creators University, and Hannes Dreyer, doing the exact same deal, just structuring it differently, and now suddenly it takes all the risk out of it. There's no capital required from my side. The deal is done, and I'm officially, you know, business partners and with Tony Robbins, and allowed to promote their product across South Africa and Africa, which is a huge and very overwhelming but fantastic thing. And what Hannes and I are doing, the two tie together phenomenally well, which is great, basically. The next thing was business meetings. I flew up to Johannesburg. I had a meeting with my business partner. We've got a lot of things that we needed to discuss. I've always used a business coach to facilitate, and we came up with some great understandings as to where we wanted to go in business and what we wanted to do and what I wanted to focus on and what he wanted to focus on. And I think both of us, it was conversations we really needed to have, those hard conversations, and gave us a lot of clarity, which was great. On Friday I came up here. I had a similar conversation with Hannes and Leon with regards to, you know, the sales and marketing, double your sales. It's been very successful, but where to from here? And just based on all that, it's given me a lot of focus, basically, which is great, because next week I can go back. We've got 2 weeks now with the whole Easter period that's going to be a lot quieter. I can sit down, I can focus, and I can really implement, so that in May we really hit the ground running, which is fantastic. And the very last thing I wanted to say was, last week based on the fact that we got the 10 sales away for the Tony Robbins products. I had a little bit of capital free, which I thought I might have to use to finalize that deal, and I didn't. And so I treated myself, and I bought myself tickets to the final and both semi-finals of the New Zealand World Cup. I've never missed the World Cup since 1995. I've been to every single one of them, and I've basically bought 2 tickets for my brother and I so that we can go along. So, you know, my attitude in life is that we've all on a journey, we all want to get somewhere, we all want to be financially free, but you've got to enjoy the journey. And you know, how amazing is the World Cup going to be in New Zealand? And I just wanted to be a part of it, and I wanted to be there with my brother. So again, another fantastic experience that I've got lined up. And it was a huge relief because I'd actually ordered the tickets, but I had to come up with the money to actually pay for it. So I've had a couple of very pressing time frames with regards to payments, but I've managed to sort it out. And I suppose that's the very last thing I would give you, is if you've got the belief and if you've got the right mindset, there's always a solution to every problem, to every challenge. And that's one of the beliefs that I've got, and it comes back to that thing that I learned from Hannes in the mastermind: power and courage. Every time that you find yourself in a difficult position, I just tell myself, power and courage. It helps me get through. So, tricky week, but huge successes, and I managed to achieve some of the big financial things that I needed to get done this week. So, a great week. I look forward to coming back to you from Cape Town next week. Thanks very much. Cheers.